My name is Maya. I am 35 years old. I am married, but I'm not happy. I live in a nice house with a green lawn. My husband's name is Tom. He is a good man, I think. He works hard. He pays the bills. Our life is quiet. It is orderly. It is empty. The silence in our house is very loud sometimes. We eat dinner together. We watch television. We do not talk much. We do not laugh much. We live in the same house, but we live in different worlds. I never forgot my first love. His name was Daniel. We were young, so young. Our love was bright and warm like the summer sun. But we had to say goodbye. Life pulled us apart. For many years, he was just a memory. A beautiful, sad memory locked away in my heart. Then yesterday, I saw him. It happened at the grocery store. I was buying milk and bread, the same things I buy every week. My life is a routine, a long, boring routine. I turned the corner of the aisle, and there he was. He was looking at some cereal boxes. He looked older, of course. There were small lines around his eyes, but his smile, it was the same smile that could make my whole world feel bright. My heart stopped. Then it started beating very fast. Boom, boom, boom. It felt like a drum inside my chest. For a moment, I could not breathe. I could not move. It was Daniel. After all these years, he was right there. I wanted to run away. I wanted to hide behind the big bags of rice. But I also wanted to see him, to hear his voice. I stood there, frozen, holding my small shopping basket. He turned his head. He saw me. His eyes opened wide. He knew me. He remembered me. A slow smile grew on his face. "Maya?" he said. His voice was deeper now, but it was still him. Hearing him say my name felt like waking up from a long, long sleep. "Daniel," I whispered. My voice was small and shaky. The grocery store, with its bright lights and busy people, seemed to disappear. For a moment, it was just us again, standing under the old oak tree in our hometown, young and full of dreams. To understand why my heart broke into 1,000 pieces, in that grocery store, you need to understand our story. My story with Daniel. It began a long time ago. I was 17. It was the summer before my last year of high school. I lived in a small town. Everybody knew everybody. Life was simple. I worked part-time at the town library. It was a quiet job. I liked books. I liked the smell of old paper. Daniel's family moved to our town that summer. His father got a job at the local factory. Daniel was different from the other boys in our town. He was quiet, but not shy. He was thoughtful. He had kind eyes, the color of warm honey. And he loved to read. He came to the library almost every day. He would sit in the corner by the window and read for hours. I watched him from behind my desk. I pretended to be busy. I stamped books. I organized cards. But really, I was watching him. I noticed small things. The way he pushed his dark hair out of his eyes. The way he would smile a little when he read something funny in a book. My heart felt a little fluttery when he was there. One afternoon, he came to my desk. He was holding a book about stars and planets. "Is this a good book?" he asked me. My face felt hot. I could not speak for a second. "Yes," I finally said. "It's very good. I read it last month." He smiled that amazing smile. "Maybe you can tell me about it sometime," he said. "Maybe," I said, trying to sound calm. But inside, I was so happy. That was the beginning. We started talking more. First about books, then about everything. He would wait for me to finish my work at the library. We would walk home together. The summer evenings were long and warm. The sun would paint the sky in colors of orange and pink. We walked slowly. We didn't want the walks to end. He told me about his dream. He wanted to be an astronomer. He wanted to study the stars, not just read about them in books. He wanted to look through big telescopes. He wanted to discover new galaxies. When he talked about the stars, his eyes would light up. He was so full of passion, full of life. No one I knew had dreams like that. I told him my dreams too. They were smaller than his. I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to help children learn to read. I wanted to travel a little, see the ocean. I had never seen the ocean. Daniel listened. He really listened. He made my small dreams feel important. He made me feel important. Our first kiss was by the old river at the edge of town. We were sitting on a big, flat rock. The water was making soft sounds. The moon was bright. He was very gentle. He touched my cheek. "Maya," he said softly. And then he kissed me. It was not like the movies. It was better. It was real. My whole body felt warm and tasty. I felt safe. I felt loved. For the first time, I understood what that word really meant. That summer was our world. We were inseparable. We had picnics in the park. We rode our bikes on the country roads. We shared secrets. We shared fears. He held my hand. I felt like I could do anything when he held my hand. He was my first love, my first everything. He was the first person who saw the real me, the quiet, dreamy girl. And he liked her. He loved her. I remember one day, he gave me a small gift. It was a necklace. It wasn't expensive. It was a small silver star on a simple chain. "So you can always have a star with you," he said, "until I can show you the real ones." I never took it off. I wore it every single day. It was my most precious thing. But summer always ends. And our summer ended too. School started. We were in the same classes. We held hands in the hallways. We ate lunch together every day. Everything was perfect, too perfect. Then, one evening in the fall, he came to my house. He looked sad. My heart dropped when I saw his face. "What's wrong?" I asked. We sat on my front porch swing. It was getting cold. "My dad," he started. His voice was low. "His company is moving. They are closing the factory here. They offered him a new job. A better job." I didn't understand at first. That's good, right? I said. He looked at me. His honey-colored eyes were full of pain. The job is in a different state, Maya. Far away. We have to move. At the end of the year. The world stopped. The words echoed in my head. Move. Far away. No. It couldn't be true. We had plans. We were going to go to the same college, the state college, just an hour away. We were going to build our future together. Tears started to run down my face. I couldn't stop them. No, Daniel, I cried. You can't go. He held me. He held me so tight. I don't want to go, Maya. I don't want to leave you. You are my everything. We cried together on that old porch swing. We promised to write letters. Every day. We promised to call. We promised we would make it work. We promised to love each other forever. We were young. We believed our promises could stop the world from turning. The last few months were a blur of sadness. We tried to be happy. We tried to make every moment special. But the goodbye was always there, a dark cloud hanging over us. The day he left was the worst day of my life. His family's car was packed full. I stood on the sidewalk. My parents stood behind me. I gave him a book of poems. I wrote a long letter inside. He gave me a hug. I love you, Maya. He whispered in my ear. Don't ever forget that. I love you too, I sobbed. And then he got in the car. It drove down the street. It turned the corner. And he was gone. I stood there for a long time. The silver star necklace felt cold against my skin. My heart felt like it was gone too. It was in that car, driving away from me. We tried. We really tried to keep our promise. We wrote letters, long letters full of our daily lives and how much we missed each other. We talked on the phone on Sundays. It was expensive, so we could only talk for a little while, but it was hard. Life got busy. College applications, exams. He was making new friends. I was trying to live my life too. The letters became shorter. The phone calls became less frequent. The distance was too big. The silence between calls grew longer. We were growing up. We were growing apart. It wasn't a big fight. It was a slow, painful fade, like a beautiful photograph left in the sun. The colors slowly disappeared. One day we just stopped writing. There was no official breakup, no final goodbye, just silence. The silence hurt more than anything. I went to college. I became a teacher, just like I dreamed. But the passion was gone. I was just going through the motions. I packed away the silver star necklace in a small box. I put the box at the back of my closet. I tried to forget Daniel. I tried to move on. That's when I met Tom. He was one of my colleague's older brothers. He was kind. He was stable. He was safe. He was everything Daniel was not. He was here. He was real. My family loved him. He's a good man, Maya, my mother said. He will take care of you. I was tired of being sad. I was tired of being alone. I thought maybe they were right. Maybe this was love for grown-ups. Quiet, sensible. So when Tom asked me to marry him, I said yes. I thought I could learn to love him. I thought I could build a new life. A happy life. But I was wrong. I built a life. But I never found the happiness. Tom is not a bad man. He is just not Daniel. He doesn't look at me like I am the only person in the world. He doesn't talk about stars. He talks about interest rates and the stock market. He doesn't hold my hand when we walk. He walks a little, bit ahead of me. We live together, but we are not partners. We are just two people who share a house. And the quiet emptiness of my life with him made my memory of Daniel shine even brighter. So when I saw him yesterday in that grocery store, it was like all those years, all that quiet sadness came crashing down on me. Maya, he said again, his voice pulling me back to the present. It's so good to see you. You too, I managed to say. What are you doing here? I thought you lived far away. My company transferred me, he said, smiling. We moved back a few months ago. We live just on the other side of town now. He said we. My heart sank a little. Of course, it had been almost 18 years. Of course he wasn't alone. We? I asked, trying to keep my voice light. Yeah, me and my wife, Sarah, and our 2 kids. He pulled out his phone. He showed me a picture, a beautiful woman with a kind smile, a little boy with Daniel's dark hair, a little girl with his honey-colored eyes. They were a beautiful family, a happy family. I looked at the picture. I felt a strange mix of feelings. Sadness, of course, deep, deep sadness. The last little bit of hope in my heart, the hope I didn't even know was there, died. But there was another feeling too. Relief. He was happy. The boy with the big dreams was okay. He had a good life. I was genuinely happy for him. They're beautiful. Daniel, I said. And I meant it. Thanks, he beamed. He was proud. What about you? Are you still in town? Are you happy? The question hung in the air. Am I happy? The biggest, hardest question of my life. I couldn't lie to him, not to Daniel. But I couldn't tell him the whole truth either. Not there, between the pasta and the canned tomatoes. I'm married, I said simply. I'm a teacher at the elementary school. I didn't say my husband's name. I didn't say if I was happy. I think he understood. His smile softened. His eyes looked at me with that old, familiar kindness. We stood there for another minute, in an awkward silence. So much to say. So many years between us. Well, he said finally, I should go. The kids are waiting in the car. It was really good to see you, Maya. You too, Daniel, I said. He walked away. I watched him go. He didn't look back. I stood there for a long time. Then I put my milk and bread in my basket and went to the checkout. I drove home. I walked into my quiet, empty house. Tom was at work. I was alone. I went to my closet. I found the small box at the back. I opened it. The silver star necklace was still there, a little tarnished, a little old, but still there. I held it in my hand, and for the first time in many, many years, I cried. I cried for the young girl who lost her first love. I cried for the woman who built a life on silence. I cried for all the years in between. But as I cried, something shifted inside me. Seeing Daniel didn't just bring back the sadness. It brought back the memory of who I was with him. I was a girl with dreams. I was a girl who laughed. I was a girl who was full of life and passion. Where did that girl go? I had buried her under years of quiet unhappiness. I had let her fade away. Seeing Daniel happy made me realize something important. My unhappiness was not his fault. It was not Tom's fault, really. It was my fault. I chose this life. I chose to be quiet. I chose to stop dreaming. Daniel moved on and found his happiness. I had stayed still, trapped in the memory of a summer long ago. The memory of Daniel wasn't a cage. I had turned it into a cage. It was supposed to be a beautiful memory, a reminder of a pure, wonderful love. Seeing him, happy and with a family, it set me free. It answered the big what-if question that had haunted me for years. The story of me and Daniel was over. It had a beautiful beginning and a sad ending, and that was okay. But my story, the story of Maya, was not over yet. I looked around my perfect silent house. It was not a home. It was a place I was hiding. I realized I was more scared of living than I was of being alone. That evening, when Tom came home, I did something I hadn't done in years. I talked. I told him I was not happy. I told him I had been unhappy for a very long time. He was surprised. He was confused. He didn't really understand. "But we have a good life," he said. "We have a quiet life, Tom," I replied. "But it's not a good life for me. I need more. I need to find myself again." It was the hardest conversation of my life, but I did it. I found a small voice inside me, the voice of that 17-year-old girl. "I don't know what will happen now. My future is uncertain. It is scary. Leaving a life you have known for so long is terrifying. But for the first time in years, I feel a little spark of hope. Not the hope of getting back my first love, but the hope of finding myself. My first love taught me what it felt like to be truly seen. My unhappy marriage taught me what it feels like to be invisible. Seeing Daniel again taught me that it is never too late to choose to be seen again, to choose yourself. Maybe my dream now is not to teach children. Maybe it's not to see the ocean. Maybe my dream is just to be happy, to find joy in small things, to laugh out loud, to build a life that is not quiet and empty but full of feeling and color. If you are listening to this, maybe you have a beautiful, sad memory too. Maybe you feel lost or stuck. It's okay. We all have chapters in our lives. Some are happy, some are sad. But you are the author of your story. You can always start a new chapter. It is scary. But you are brave. You are strong. You can do this too. You can choose to find your own happiness. Keep going. Your story is not over yet.